Welcome to episode 40 of the all-new Mr. Menopause show. To close out the year, I wanted to share something really special. This is my introductory masterclass called Stop Suffering Through Menopause. This presentation was created to answer the questions women ask me most. Why symptoms feel confusing, why advice conflicts, and why so many women are told everything is normal while their quality of life quietly declines. If you're new here, this is the perfect place to start. And if you've been following the show, this is a powerful reminder of the foundation that makes everything else make sense. I'm Tafiq Akhir, Mr. Menopause here, and welcome to the Mr. Menopause show.
Hello and welcome. The training that you're about to experience is called Stop Suffering Through Menopause, and I'm going to be sharing what every woman should know before you spend another dollar or waste another month. I'm Tafiq Akhir, also known as Mr. Menopause, and I want to begin with something that is deeply personal. So it's the moment that shaped everything that I've done for the last 20 years. It's the moment that set me on a path to becoming a certified and award winning menopause and healthy aging educator and your guide through this journey today. Now, this story takes place in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, and it was during what felt like the storm of all snowstorms. School was actually canceled because we were snowed in, and my sister and I were sitting together at the table talking, and we were laughing, and then suddenly we heard this strange sound coming from my mom's bedroom. It was like, shh, shh, shh. We looked at each other, a little confused and also a little concerned. And so, of course, we went to check on her. What we saw was like this dramatic scene from a movie. My mom, this strong, creative powerhouse of a woman, was standing in front of an open window in the freezing winter air, in her underwear, drenched in sweat, desperate for relief from an intense hot flash. She was using the biting cold blowing inside of her room in the middle of a snowstorm to cool herself down. What I later realized was this was a nightly reoccurrence that she was suffering through in silence when she would be in her bedroom with the door closed. And at that time, I didn't really know what menopause was. I didn't really understand why she was struggling. I only knew that she didn't deserve to go through that in the way that she did, all alone and with no support. Her hot flashes were only the beginning. She would later experience these relentless headaches, unexplained health issues, and a collection of medications that never seemed to bring the comfort that she needed. Yet she continued to show up for everyone else. She showed up at work. She showed up for the community. She showed up for her family. She took care of everyone else first, even as her own physical and emotional well being declined. Like many women, she never talked about it. In our house, menopause was never even named. It was simply called the change or the change of life, something that was whispered about and something that was endured in silence. And that moment stayed with me. I'm pretty sure it was because of how dramatic it looked, but also for what it really represented. And then years later, during my career in nutrition and fitness, I met woman after woman who just reminded me of my mom. Women who felt like their bodies were betraying them. Women who were experiencing hot flashes, sleep disruption, mood shifts, unexplained weight gain, and emotional overwhelm. Women who were desperately trying to understand why everything felt so different and no one was giving them clear answers. Every story connected back to that moment with my mother in front of the window. I saw the same confusion, the same fear, the same silent suffering. And that was when everything kind of clicked for me. I realized that there was a massive gap in menopause education and support. And women were going through one of the most significant transitions of their lives with little information, little guidance, and far too much shame. And despite all the medical advances in the world, menopause was still something that women were expected to manage alone. And that realization really did change my life. So I immersed myself in menopause science. I pursued several different certifications. I partnered with leading organizations like the Menopause Experts Group and became a member of the Menopause Society. I rededicated my career to one mission: to become the resource that my mother never had. Now, I know some people still wonder how a man becomes one of the most trusted voices in menopause education. And for me, the answer is simple. Menopause education is shockingly limited in medical schools. Most physicians receive maybe one lecture on menopause, one lecture for something that affects half the population for decades of their lives. And women deserve better. You deserve better. And over the last 20 years, through thousands of viewers, hundreds of clients, and countless transformations, I've seen what's possible when women finally understand what's happening in their body. And that has to do with my expertise, not my gender. And women like Maria, who told me, no more hot flashes, Tafiq. Can you believe it? And that was after she had been suffering with hot flashes every 30 minutes for nearly a year when she came to me. Women like Darlene, who went from seeing menopause as something to hide to viewing it as a natural and empowering phase of her life. Women like Heidi, who finally understood she was still in perimenopause and that her symptoms were not random, but predictable. And that meant they were manageable. And these stories are what fuel my mission. And today I want to give you something my mother never received, and that's clear, practical, evidence based information about your body, a way to make menopause make much more sense, a way to move from frustration and confusion into clarity and a little bit more confidence. So take a deep breath. You are in the right place and you are not alone. And by the end of this training, you will understand your body in a way that you may have never understood it before. With that said, let's begin. Now, in this mini masterclass, I'll be covering what menopause really means and what you can expect during this stage of life. I'm going to debunk some common myths, discuss managing symptoms holistically, and explore how menopause can impact your work and social life. My goal is to leave you feeling more informed, more empowered, and more prepared to manage your menopause journey with more confidence. And I'll be sharing a resource that can completely change your menopause experience for the better as well. Now, let's start by defining what menopause actually is. Menopause is not just an event, right? It's a natural transition in a woman's life, marking the end of her reproductive years. And this transition typically occurs between the ages of 45 and 55, give or take 5 years. And it's important to understand that it's not the same for every woman. The journey into menopause is divided into three stages that are all connected and create the complete menopause transition, which includes perimenopause, menopause itself, and postmenopause. Now, perimenopause is the time leading up to menopause, and this is where hormonal changes start affecting your body. This is the stage where I've seen clients with the most symptoms, but it's also the phase that many women say they hadn't even heard of. And then menopause is actually confirmed when you have not had a menstrual period for 12 consecutive months. That moment is menopause. And then you are in postmenopause. This is the phase following menopause where you should begin focusing on managing your long term health and vitality. Now, during these stages, you may experience a range of symptoms, including hot flashes, night sweats, mood changes, and sleep problems, as well as joint pain, migraines, tingling sensations, and many more. In fact, there are up to 80 different symptoms and side effects of menopause. And studies have also found that 77% of women aren't even aware that many of their symptoms are even menopause related. Each symptom results from hormonal changes, primarily involving estrogen and progesterone. It's important to recognize these symptoms early and understand that they are a normal part of the transition and that they can be effectively managed. Now that you understand the three stages of menopause and how they shape your symptoms, I want to bring this to life with a real example. This is Heidi McCullough, one of my Menopause Made Simple graduates, and her experience mirrors what so many women go through without realizing it. Before she joined the program, Heidi felt completely out of control. She was entering perimenopause and began experiencing irregular periods, unpredictable symptoms, and a lot of fear about what was coming next. She told me that every new discomfort sent her spiraling because she didn't know what was normal, what was concerning, or what any of it actually meant. And like many women, the only stories she had ever heard about menopause were Horror stories, hot flashes that never stopped, symptoms that made daily life feel impossible, treatments that didn't work. No support, no clarity, so she braced herself for the worst. But the moment that she joined the program, everything began to shift. One of the first things that she learned was that menopause officially begins after 12 consecutive months without her menstrual period. That meant she was still in perimenopause. And that simple piece of information changed everything for her. Suddenly, her irregular periods were not random chaos. They were signals that her body was moving through a predictable stage. And if the stage was predictable, that meant her symptoms were predictable. And if the symptoms were predictable, that meant she could manage them. Heidi often says that the biggest shift that she got from the training was understanding what was happening, understanding why it was happening, and understanding what to expect next. She stopped panicking every time a new symptom showed up. She stopped assuming something was wrong with her, and she stopped feeling like her body was betraying her. And within weeks, she had more clarity. She had tools and she had a sense of control. And she said that she finally felt like she was able to breathe again. And since completing the program, Heidi has identified symptoms that she once dismissed as just aging: the aches, the fatigue, the brain fog, the weight gain, and the anxiety. She now understands that all of those symptoms are connected to her hormonal changes. And one of the biggest shifts that she experienced is her confidence in medical settings. She now advocates for herself more. She asks the right questions and she discusses treatment options with clarity. She has a voice in her healthcare instead of feeling pushed aside. Heidi's journey is the perfect example of what happens when you stop guessing and you start understanding. Her transformation didn't come from doing everything perfectly either. It came from finally having the right knowledge. And that's exactly why I created the Menopause Made Simple experience to begin with, because when women understand, they can finally take back control of their health and their life. Now, I want to build on this understanding and clear up some of the most common myths and misconceptions that keep women confused and overwhelmed. Now, these myths are often the reason that so many women feel afraid, unprepared, and overwhelmed. And when you don't understand what's real and what's not, it really becomes nearly impossible to make confident decisions about your body and your health. So, let's break down a few of the biggest myths that keep women stuck. Myth number one is that menopause means that you're getting old. Absolutely not. Menopause is a natural phase of life. It does not mean that you're aging faster. It doesn't mean that your health is declining either. Menopause is about hormone shifts, not about age or decline. Understanding that alone can help you release so much unnecessary fear and shame. Myth number two is that severe symptoms are unavoidable. Also untrue. Many women manage their symptoms effectively through lifestyle adjustments, consistency, and informed choices. The real issue is a lack of awareness. When you don't know what your symptoms mean or what your body's asking for, well, everything feels harder than it needs to be, right? And this is why awareness should be one of the cornerstones in menopause care. When you understand the process, you can support your body more effectively. When you know better, you can do better. Myth number three is that menopause ends your sex life. Again, not even close to the truth. Many women enjoy a healthy, fulfilling, connected sex life during and after menopause. It's all about understanding the changes happening in your body and addressing vaginal health, hormone balance, and communication with your partner. Nothing ends automatically simply because you enter a different phase of your life. Now, let's go even deeper with a few more variations of common myths that create unnecessary fear and confusion. One is that menopause means the end of a fulfilling life. False. Women find new joy, energy, and emotional freedom during and after menopause once they understand their body and learn how to support it. Hormone therapy is the only solution for relief. Again, false. For some women, it's a great option. For others, it's not. There are many evidence based strategies that support symptom management. The key is understanding your stage, your symptoms, and your options. Another is that menopause will ruin your relationships or your career. Again, not true. What affects work relationships, and confidence is unmanaged symptoms and lack of understanding. Once you have the clarity, you regain your confidence and your ability to show up fully in both spaces. And then the last one is that only older women experience menopause. And again, not true. Menopause is about hormonal transition, not age. Women of many ages enter perimenopause and menopause for a wide variety of reasons, some of which can be medically induced. By challenging these myths, you reclaim power over your story. You stop absorbing fear based messaging and you start making informed decisions. And here's why this matters. See, when you understand the truth about menopause, you begin to see what's happening. You realize that you're not broken. You realize that you're not alone. You realize your symptoms are not the end of your vitality, but the beginning of understanding your body in a deeper way. Now, I wanted to show you another powerful example of how clarity transforms everything. This is Darlene Beccaria, and her story shows exactly what happens when a woman finally understands the full picture of menopause instead of trying to piece it together alone. When Darlene first came into the menopause program, she held many of the same beliefs that so many women have been taught. She thought that menopause was mysterious, shameful, and something that she was expected to endure in silence. She believed her struggles were something she had to just hide or push through quietly. She felt unprepared, unsupported, and unsure how to make sense of what was happening in her body. And what made things even worse was the fact that she had symptoms she never even associated with menopause. Her arms tingled, she had numbness, and she experienced frozen shoulder. Her doctor never mentioned that these symptoms could be connected to menopause. So she went on thinking they were unrelated issues or signs that something was wrong with her body. The confusion was very overwhelming. But everything began to change once she entered the Menopause Made Simple experience. For the first time in her life, she learned about the three stages of menopause. She learned that there are 80 different symptoms and side effects associated with menopause. And this information alone reframed her entire experience because she finally saw herself in the full picture. She realized that she was not losing her mind. She realized her body was not failing her. She realized that she was not alone and that her symptoms were not mysterious. They were explainable, they were predictable, they were connected. And within the first month of learning this information, Darlene experienced a massive emotional shift. She went from hiding her struggles to openly talking about them with her friends, her family, and even her teenage children. She was no longer ashamed. She was no longer confused, and she's no longer carrying her experience alone. Understanding her symptoms gave her confidence, clarity replaced fear, knowledge replaced shame, and awareness replaced self blame. And just like Heidi, Darlene became a strong advocate for herself in medical settings. She walks into appointments with the right questions, she discusses her symptoms with confidence, and she made informed decisions about her care. She's no longer silent or unsure, she is empowered. Darlene's journey is a perfect example of how life changing menopause education can be. When you have the right information, you stop suffering in silence. You stop guessing. You stop feeling like your symptoms are random. And you finally understand your body in a way that no one ever taught you before. And now that you have a deeper understanding of the stages of menopause and how your symptoms connect to hormonal changes, let's talk about the part that every woman wants to know, which is what can you do to feel better, right? Because the truth is, menopause is a natural transition, but that does not mean you need to sit back and just cope with it. There are proven holistic approaches that can help you manage your symptoms more effectively, feel more grounded, and support your long term health. And I want to walk you through four important areas: nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress management. Let's start with nutrition because food choices play a crucial role in managing menopause symptoms. Supporting your body with the right nutrients can help balance hormones, stabilize energy levels, and reduce discomfort. Foods rich in calcium and vitamin D are essential because they help protect your bones as estrogen levels decline. Foods high in omega 3 fatty acids like fish and flax seeds support mood stability and heart health. And phytoestrogens found in soy and tofu can help balance hormones naturally. is keep in mind that the best soy and tofu products are organic and water washed, in my personal opinion. Now, these are small shifts that can make a meaningful difference. Now let's talk about exercise. Consistent movement is one of the most powerful tools that you have during menopause. Not only does it help to manage weight, but it also improves mood, strengthens bones, supports heart health, and boosts your energy. So you want to aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every week and include muscle strengthening exercises 2 or more days per week. And here's an important part: consistency. Consistency is where the relief shows up. Next is sleep. Sleep is often disrupted during menopause because of night sweats, anxiety, or just basic hormonal shifts. So, I want you to create a sleep routine that works with your body instead of against it. Keep your bedroom cool. Avoid caffeine and stimulants close to bedtime. Give yourself a relaxing wind down routine that signals to your nervous system that it's time to rest. And if sleep issues continue, a conversation with your healthcare provider may help, especially if you have insomnia, because cognitive behavioral therapy may help. A well rested body handles everything else so much better. And then finally is stress management. Stress can intensify menopause symptoms, especially hot flashes and mood swings. And this is why practices like deep breathing, yoga, and meditation are incredibly effective. Even simple actions like spending time with friends or engaging in a hobby that you love can calm your nervous system and help your body feel supported instead of overwhelmed. And here's something that I want you to reflect on for a moment. Think of one change that you can make in any of these areas: a small dietary shift, a new exercise habit, a bedtime routine, a moment of silence for your mind. Because small steps matter. When you support your body consistently, you give yourself the foundation to navigate menopause more confidently and comfortably. Now that you have the foundational tools that support your body during this transition, I want to introduce you to someone whose experience shows the power of clear menopause education in a very real way. This is Deanna Kleinman. When Deanna first reached out, she felt confused, overwhelmed, and unsure what was actually happening in her body. She had been dealing with various symptoms for about 6 months to a year and assumed it was all connected to perimenopause, but she didn't even fully understand what that meant. She only knew that something was changing and she wanted guidance before things got worse. She also shared with me that conversations with friends were helpful but limited. Some had experienced symptoms, but none could offer real explanations. Healthcare providers acknowledged her concerns, but their answers were vague, inconsistent, and often minimized what she was feeling. She kept hearing it was normal, but no one ever told her what normal actually meant. No one connected the dots. No one explained what was happening in her body. And that lack of clarity left her feeling lost and frustrated. Once she enrolled in the Menopause Made Simple program, everything began to shift for her. The training helped her understand the stages of menopause, the truth about perimenopause. She learned that most symptoms surface during this stage and that addressing them early matters more than most women realize. Understanding that she was in perimenopause reframed the entire experience. Her symptoms were not random, they were not separate, they were not signs of decline. They were part of a predictable, manageable hormonal transition. The education brought her comfort. The structure brought her clarity. The tools gave her a sense of direction. And with that clarity came confidence, enough confidence to have conversations that she once felt nervous to initiate. She went to her doctor, and for the first time, she felt educated enough to discuss her options openly. She felt empowered to ask questions and advocated for herself and what she needed instead of waiting for someone to define her care. And that shift made a real difference. After speaking with her doctor, she started hormone replacement therapy. A few months later, she sent me this message. She said, "Hi, Tafiq. Hope you're well and that you're enjoying the long holiday weekend. I meant to email you sooner but forgot, but I want to thank you for all your guidance and education. I felt comfortable talking to my doctor about getting on HRT because of what I learned from you. I can happily say that after 2 months, I feel like a new person from being on estrogen and progesterone. No more hot flashes, and I finally can sleep. Thanks again for everything. My best, Deanna. Deanna still explores holistic options for additional symptoms, and she does so with clarity rather than confusion. She understands her body. She knows what questions to ask. She knows what to look for. She knows what's happening and what her choices are. This is what happens when you are equipped with real menopause education. It doesn't force you into one approach, it empowers you to choose the right approach for you. Deanna's story shows that when you have the right knowledge and the right tools, you stop feeling powerless. You stop suffering in silence and you finally begin experiencing real relief. Now that you've heard Deanna's story, I want to show you the framework that ties all this together. It's the same framework that has helped thousands of women move from confusion and frustration to confidence, clarity, and real results. This is the heart of my work. It's the framework that has helped thousands of women understand exactly what's happening in their bodies and what to do next. Over the years, after working with women from all walks of life, listening to their stories, their frustrations, their fears, and their breakthroughs, I developed a simple step by step method that guides you through every part of the menopause journey, and it's called the Meno Made Simple Method. And once you understand it, menopause finally stops feeling confusing, unpredictable, and overwhelming. Everything begins to click. Phase one is assess. This is where everything begins. Most women start their menopause journey by guessing. They try to figure things out on their own, Google symptoms, and hope they stumble onto something helpful. But guessing only leads to frustration. In the assess phase, you learn exactly where you are in the stage of menopause. You learn which symptoms are connected to hormonal changes, and you begin to see what your body is trying to tell you. And this is the moment when women often say, now it finally makes sense. Phase two is address. Once you understand what's happening, you can take informed action. This phase focuses on evidence based strategies to reduce symptom intensity and support your physical, mental, and emotional well being. This is where everything becomes simpler and clearer. You stop chasing random solutions that were never meant for your specific stage. You stop wasting time and energy on approaches that don't work for you, and you finally know what your body needs. Phase three is adapt. Menopause is not a moment, it's a transition. Your body changes, your needs change, and your routines must evolve with you as well. Adapt helps you integrate habits and practices that support your body as it moves through each stage. This is where women begin to feel stronger, more grounded, and more energized because they're no longer fighting against the process. They're working with their body instead of against it. And phase four is ascend. This is the phase most women don't even know is possible. It's where you move beyond symptom management and step into confidence, vitality, and a renewed sense of well being. Ascend is where you feel hopeful again. It's where you begin to truly understand your body, your needs, and your options. It's where you step into the future that feels healthy, supported, and joyful. These four phases form the backbone of the Menopause Made Simple experience. They are the reason women say the program finally helped everything click. They are the reason women transform from confusion and frustration to confident and empowered. They are the reason that women begin advocating for themselves with clarity and certainty. Now that you understand the method, let's talk about something that affects every woman in ways that are often misunderstood and overlooked. And that's the social and workplace impact of menopause, because menopause affects every corner of your life. I hear from women all the time who tell me that menopause has begun affecting their performance, confidence, and peace of mind at work. Not because they're incapable, not because they're unqualified, not because they're suddenly less intelligent or less valuable, but because they're dealing with symptoms that no one ever taught them to understand or manage. Women have shared that they struggle with brain fog during important meetings. They find themselves searching for words they normally would have instantly. They worry that they're being judged or misunderstood. Some even fear colleagues will think they're slipping or not able to keep up. Others tell me they sit through presentations silently fighting off hot flashes while trying to remain composed and professional, or that they lose sleep from night sweats and then have to face a full workday feeling foggy and exhausted. Some women have even considered leaving careers that they love because they don't feel that they have the tools to manage their symptoms effectively in a professional environment. And I want every woman listening to know this right now. You are not the problem. It's lack of support and awareness that is the problem. Now, let's talk about relationships and social life because menopause can also affect how you show up with the people you care about. Partners may not understand what's happening. Friends who have not experienced menopause may not know how to relate. Women often feel like they're losing patience, losing energy, or just losing themselves. And that isolation can feel heavy. Women say that simple social interactions feel draining because their mood is so unpredictable and that their energy is depleted. Others share that they feel disconnected from their partners because they don't have the language to explain what they're going through. And many feel embarrassed or ashamed to talk about their symptoms at all. But here's the truth: these challenges are not separate from your physical symptoms, they're all connected. Your hormones influence your mood, your sleep, your focus, and your emotional reserves. So, when you address the hormonal shifts and you understand the symptoms, everything else begins to shift as well. You regain your confidence at work. You find joy in social connections again. You communicate more clearly with your partner, and you begin showing up in your life with more presence, more peace, and more power. This is why a comprehensive approach matters so much. It's not just about reducing hot flashes, it's about reclaiming your quality of life. It's about regaining clarity and confidence. It's about understanding your body so that you can advocate for your needs. It's about stepping into a stage of life that feels empowering rather than overwhelming. You deserve to feel supported. You deserve to feel informed. You deserve to feel confident in your body and in your life. And that's exactly what I want to help you experience. Now, before I introduce you to the program, I want to read some of the things other ladies have said about their Menopause Made Simple experience. Ellen says, I love all the collaboration and options included. Sadly, when I was going into menopause, my MD only offered estrogen patches, telling me they would help with all my symptoms. I love that you have holistic and other options. Amy says, thank you for these quick bites of information and for breaking it down into very information packed and understandable lessons. And Haley said, this is a great conversation that is lacking for women of all ages, which makes talking about it during menopause even more uncomfortable. I'm glad this topic for discussion and exploration is included in this training. You've just taken in a lot of information. You've learned things about your body that many women go their entire lives not even hearing before. And I want you to take a moment to acknowledge yourself for that. Because simply understanding what's happening inside your body is a powerful step towards relief and confidence. But I also want to be very honest with you about something important. Information alone is not enough. If information alone created change, women would not still be suffering through menopause. You wouldn't be searching for answers. You wouldn't be here with me today. My mother wouldn't have stood in front of that window in the middle of that storm searching for relief, right? And the thousands of women that I've supported over the years would not have spent months or years feeling overwhelmed and confused. The real transformation happens when you take the information and turn it into action. And that's where many women hit a wall. Not because you're not capable, not because you're not trying, not because you're not committed, but because you're trying to navigate menopause on your own, and that is incredibly difficult. It's overwhelming to sift through conflicting advice. It's exhausting to keep guessing which symptoms are connected. It's frustrating to try things that don't work and not know why. And it can feel lonely to do it alone without guidance or support. I've seen women spend years trying to figure it out by themselves, trying new supplements, trying different diets, trying to push through the symptoms, trying to stay strong in front of their families, their colleagues, and their friends. But suffering alone does not make the journey easier. It makes it so much harder. And you don't have to do that. And you definitely don't have to do it alone. I spent the last 20 years helping women move from confusion to clarity, from frustration to understanding, from suffering to relief. And I can help you do the same. So let me show you exactly how I can support you in the next phase of your menopause journey. Let me introduce you to the Menopause Made Simple experience because it was created specifically for women who are tired of guessing, tired of being dismissed, and ready to finally understand what's happening in your body. This is the program that takes everything you learned today and walks you through each part of the process with clarity, structure, and compassionate support. The Menopause Made Simple experience is a hybrid of a guided and self paced program available on demand that gives women the education you never received, the guidance you always needed, and the tools to navigate every stage of menopause with confidence, ease, and complete autonomy. Inside the program, I take you step by step through the four phases of the Menno Made Simple method that I shared with you earlier. Beginning with the assess phase, you'll learn exactly where you are in your menopause journey, identify your symptoms with confidence, understand what your body is trying to tell you instead of guessing or reacting out of fear. Then you move into the address phase. This is where you'll gain practical strategies to reduce your symptoms, improve your well being, and understand your options in a clear and grounded way. After that, you enter the adapt phase. This is where you learn how to support your body consistently, make meaningful lifestyle shifts, and navigate your changing needs with clarity instead of confusion. And finally, you reach ascend. This is where everything begins to come together. You move from trying to cope with menopause to confidently navigating it with knowledge, tools, and empowerment. Now that you understand the four phases, let me show you exactly what you'll receive when you enroll in the Menopause Made Simple experience. And this is not just information, this is a complete support system designed to help you understand your body, manage your symptoms, and navigate this transition with clarity and confidence. Inside the Menopause Made Simple experience, you receive four core modules that walk you through the complete Menno Made Simple method. Every phase, every step, every tool that you need to move from confusion to clarity, interactive quizzes and polls within each lesson so that you can check your understanding as you go. You'll know exactly where you are, what you've learned, and what comes next. You'll get direct access to me, Mr. Menopause, through post-lesson comments and Q&As. You are not just watching videos alone. You can ask questions, share your experience, and get personalized guidance when you need it. Audio downloads of every lesson are available so that you can listen on the go, in your car, during a walk, while cooking dinner, wherever life takes you, your education can go with you. Lesson worksheets, they help you apply what you learn to your own experience. And these are not just notes, these are tools that help you take action and see real results. I curated the Mr. Menopause approved resources list with next steps for deeper support, whether you want to explore hormone therapy, holistic approaches, or specific symptom management, you'll know exactly where to go next. Community support so that you never feel alone in this journey, and you'll connect with other women who understand exactly what you're going through, as well as unlimited access to every lesson, every resource, and every update. You can revisit the program anytime you need. As your body changes, your support system stays with you. And here's the best part. You can complete this entire program in just 4 to 6 weeks at only 30 to 45 minutes per week. This is less than one episode of your favorite show, less than the time that you spend scrolling social media looking for answers, less than the time you spend worrying about what's happening in your body. In less than an hour each week, you can finally understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what to do about it. This is not a course you buy or forget about. This is a complete experience designed to give you clarity, support, and confidence through every stage of menopause. And it's available to you right now. This is the program that helped Heidi, Deanna, and Darlene understand their bodies. It's the program that helps women speak confidently to their doctors. It's the program that helps women feel supported instead of alone. And the best part is that you can go through the program at your own pace. There's no time limit, no time pressure, and no need to rush. You can revisit any lesson anytime you want. You have unlimited access the moment that you enroll. And let's talk about the investment. The Menopause Made Simple experience is normally $397, but as a part of this special training, I'm offering it to you today for only $247. And this is your end of the year clarity enrollment discount. And yes, there's even a full 30-day money back guarantee. This means you can go through the lessons, apply what you learned, and experience the clarity yourself with absolutely no risk. If you want to finally understand your body, manage your symptoms with confidence, and stop guessing your way through menopause, this is your moment. In a few minutes, I will show you exactly how to enroll. But before I do that, I want to introduce you to an additional option for women who want deeper support and greater physical transformation. Now, this is not required. It's not the focus of today's training either, and it's not something that every woman needs, but I do want to share it. Now, if you want support specifically around hormonal weight changes, metabolic health, and long term body composition during menopause, I offer a deeper transformation program called Diet Free Academy. Now, Diet Free Academy is designed for women who are tired of dieting, tired of restriction, tired of feeling like their bodies are working against them, and ready to understand what truly influences their weight and metabolism during this stage of life. Now, while the Menopause Made Simple experience helps you understand exactly what's happening in your body, Diet Free Academy takes the foundation and applies it directly to your hormones, your metabolism, your eating patterns, your movement, your muscle health, your energy, your long term body composition, and your relationship with food. Women often come into this program after discovering that fad diets, detoxes, or restrictive approaches were never built for a menopausal body in the first place. Their hormones changed, but their strategies did not. And as a result, nothing has worked. Diet Free Academy helps you shift from frustration to understanding, from dieting to nourishing, from confusion to confidence, from battling your body to working with it. Is for women who want a higher level of support and a deeper level of transformation. And it pairs beautifully with Menopause Made Simple for women who want to create lasting change in both their health and their weight. Now, this option is available for you if you want, and I'll share how to access it once we finish today's training. But for now, I want to bring your attention back to the central focus of today's session because no matter which path you choose, everything begins with education and awareness. It begins with understanding your body so deeply that you can finally make the right decisions for yourself with confidence and clarity. And that's exactly what the Menopause Made Simple experience is designed to help you do. Now, before we move into your final steps to enroll, I want to take a moment to help you make the clearest choice for your needs. Because the truth is this: you didn't come to this training by accident. Women join me in this session because they're tired of guessing. They're tired of suffering in silence. They're tired of trying to figure out their symptoms with no clear answers. They're tired of feeling like their bodies are changing faster than their understanding. And somewhere inside, there's a part of you that knows you deserve more support and more clarity than you've been given. So let's make this simple. The Menopause Made Simple experience is for you if you want to understand what's happening in your body, you want to know which stage of menopause you're actually in, you want to learn why your symptoms are showing up, you want clear explanations instead of confusion, you want to stop wasting time on random solutions, you want a step by step method that makes everything finally make sense. You want to feel confident talking to your doctor. You want knowledge that empowers you to make informed decisions. You want to stop suffering through this on your own. And if any of that resonates with you, this program will support you beautifully. Now let's talk about Diet Free Academy. Diet Free Academy is for women who want additional help with weight, metabolic health, and long term body composition. It builds on the understanding you gain in the Menopause Made Simple experience and applies it specifically to nutrition, movement, muscle health, and metabolic support. The Menopause Made Simple experience is your foundation. Diet Free Academy is your next level if you want deeper support. So, if you're asking yourself which option is the right one for you, the answer is simple, in my opinion. Start with the Menopause Made Simple experience. It's the program that gives you answers, clarity, and a grounded understanding of your entire menopause journey. It's the program that helped Heidi understand her symptoms. It's the program that helped Darlene feel empowered and informed. It's the program that helped Deanna talk confidently to her doctor and finally get real relief. And if you want clarity, this is your path as well. If you want understanding, this is your path. If you want to stop guessing, this is your path. And if you want to feel supported instead of alone, again, this is your path. Now, I want you to hear this directly from me. You are not behind. You are not late. It's not too early and it's not too late either. You are exactly where you need to be to begin this journey with clarity and confidence. Now, I want to share one more story with you. It's a powerful reminder of what's possible when women finally understand her body and gets the support that she deserves. Jennifer came to me at 49, exhausted and defeated. She hadn't slept through the night in 2 years. Her night sweats were so bad that she was changing her sheets multiple times a night. Her doctor said it's just menopause and offered no real solutions. She felt invisible, dismissed, and hopeless. When she joined the Menopause Made Simple experience, everything changed. Within the first week of going through the lessons, she sent me a message and said, I wish I had learned this information years ago. I finally understand what's happening in my body. The first time she felt seen, the first time she felt informed, and for the first time she felt in control rather than overwhelmed. And that was just in the first week of the program. She told me that she cried after that first lesson because she finally understood that nothing was really wrong with her. She was not losing herself, she was transitioning. And once she understood the transition, she could finally breathe again. Jennifer's story is a powerful reminder that clarity is not optional during menopause. It's essential. It's the foundation for your confidence, your choices, your well being, and your peace. And every woman deserves that clarity, including you. Now, let me show you exactly how to take your next step and begin your journey inside the Menopause Made Simple experience. Now, you've spent this time with me because you're ready for something to change. You're ready to stop guessing. You're ready to stop feeling frustrated. You're ready to stop navigating one of the most important transitions of your life without the education, clarity, and support that you deserve. And I want to invite you to take the next step. The Menopause Made Simple experience is your path to understanding what's happening in your body. It's your path to clarity, your path to confidence, your path to relief, and it's your path to making informed decisions about your health and your overall well being. For only 247, you receive the complete step by step Menopause Made Simple experience, including clear explanations of the three stages of menopause, understanding the 80 connected symptoms and side effects, the full Meno Made Simple four-phase method, tools that help you manage and reduce symptom intensity, the ability to speak confidently with your doctor, on-demand video lessons, downloadable resources, unlimited access to every lesson, and it all is backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can explore the course, you can learn the information, you can apply what you learn. And if you don't feel more clear, more informed, and more confident, you can request a refund with absolutely no risk. You deserve to understand your body. You deserve to feel supported. You deserve to feel confident in your choices, and you deserve to feel connected to yourself again. And the journey begins right now. All you need to do is click the button at the end of this masterclass to join the Menopause Made Simple experience today. Once you enroll, you'll receive immediate access. You can start your first lesson within minutes. And by this time tomorrow, you could already feel more empowered, more informed, and more grounded in your experience. Now, if you want the deeper support with weight and metabolism during menopause, you're going to also see an option to join Diet Free Academy once you're inside the program. but everything begins with the Menopause Made Simple experience. Now is your moment to choose clarity. Now is your moment to choose support, and now is your moment to choose you. And it would be my honor to guide you through this journey. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with this. I began this work because of a moment that never left me, a moment that shaped everything that I've done for the last 20 years, a moment that reminded me that no woman should have to suffer in silence. I watched my mom stand in front of an open window in the middle of a snowstorm, desperately trying to cool her body during an intense hot flash because she didn't know what else to do. She was confused, she was uncomfortable, she was searching for relief that never seemed to come. She had no answers, no guidance, no support, no one to help her make sense of what she was going through. She suffered alone because no one taught her any of the things that you learned today. No one explained the stages. No one talked about the symptoms. No one connected the dots. No one offered evidence based support or compassionate understanding. So I made it my mission to become the resource that she never had. This is why this work means so much to me. This is why I'm here today, and this is why the Menopause Made Simple experience exists. Because every woman deserves clarity, support, and understanding. And that includes you. You don't need to navigate this alone. You don't need to guess your way through your symptoms. You don't need to keep saying, I wish someone would just tell me what's happening. You have a guide who's compassionate, empathetic, highly educated in menopause and healthy aging support, and fully committed to your well being. And I would be honored to walk this journey with you. So if you're ready to understand your body, and if you're ready to stop suffering in silence, if you're ready to take control of your menopause journey with clarity and confidence, again, I invite you to enroll in the Menopause Made Simple experience today. Your journey doesn't have to feel confusing anymore. It doesn't have to feel lonely, and it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. Relief begins with clarity. Clarity begins with understanding, and understanding begins right here. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for choosing yourself, and thank you for allowing me to support you. I'm Mr. Menopause, your guide and ally, here to take this journey with you every step of the way. Until next time, stay safe and be well.